Hey guys, this is Omer from MMOs.com, another quick week news recap of all major MMO news, and announced for the week ending June 8th, 2020. This is episode number 248 of the recap, and the first of news this week comes from Nexon regarding MapleStory, which is still one of my favorite MMORPGs. Nexon announced that the game's summer updates will be introducing a new playable class, the Astellia, and which will be available on June 24th. The summer update is rolling out in phases, with Phase 1 Promise of the Guardian starting on June 10th, which is in 2 days, and will introduce a new Terra Burning event and numerous other in-game events. The new class itself launches on June 24th, and on July 8th, a whole new region, Reverse City, will be added to the game. Other key features of these updates include a revamp to the Beast Tamer skills, boss revamps, and more. With the new Burning event starting in a couple of days, it'll be a great time to roll a new character again. With the Terra Burning event, you can probably get to around level 150 to 180 in just a few days. The real grind, of course, begins at level 200, though. Next up, the Rona claims yet another convention. This time, Final Fantasy XIV's Fan Festival has been cancelled due to the coronavirus concerns. Last week was BlizzCon, now it's FanFest. But that's not all. Patch 5.3 for Final Fantasy XIV has been delayed as well. It was initially expected to go live on June 16th. It will be delayed by more than a month because of the work-from-home challenges at Square Enix. According to Yoshi P, the game's producer, the development team is now back up and running at 90% development capacity going forward. So hopefully there shouldn't be any more delays, at least going forward. There's definitely a bit of a content drought right now in Final Fantasy XIV. Next up, Path of Exile's next expansion, Harvest, was officially announced this last week and is set to launch real soon, on June 19th to be exact. Path of Exile Harvest introduces a new Harvest League, a new crafting options, 8 new skills, 2 new sport gems, revamp of 2-handed weapons, Warcraft skills, 12 new unique items, and rebalancing of 50 old uniques, and much more. As always, expect the game's player base to spike as soon as Harvest drops on June 19th. Up next, Blizzard gave World of Warcraft players a first look at the new Ardenweald Zone and the new Night Fae Covenant areas, both of which are a part of the upcoming Shadowlands expansion. The new zones were previewed and discussed in the latest dev blog. Check out the dev blog if you want to learn more about that, but we still don't have any kind of official release date for Shadowlands though, but we do know it's still planned for a 2020 release. If previous WoW expansions are any hints, it should be launching sometime in August or so. But with the corona delays, I think it might be pushed back a bit later into the year, but we'll have to wait and see. My guess is probably going to be launching close to the end of the year because of the coronavirus stuff. Next up, ArcheAge's public test servers have gone live for the upcoming Garden of the God expansion, and along with that, they released a full patch notes for the expansion as well. The Garden of the God expansion itself launches on June 11th. Gameago announced that last week they'll be charging a small fee for expansions and for future major updates to help with ArcheAge Unchained's operating costs. That caused a lot of drama last week, but let's see what kind of effect it has on the Garden of the God expansion in the next few days. I'm curious to see how much they're going to charge for it, but again, we'll see. Up next, EverQuest, a 1998 MMORPG, launched 2 new progression servers, which experienced hour-long queues just after launching. It's amazing that despite EverQuest's age, the game remains popular today, especially the game's progression servers, which are normally available only to paying members. So if you wanted to scratch the EverQuest itch once again, those 2 new progression servers are live and worth checking out. But as always, I don't recommend new players really check out EverQuest 1. It's a really old MMORPG and it'll really only appeal to people that played it back in the day. It's hard to get new players into old MMORPGs. Next up, Studio 8 announced some changes to Astellia, which are launching on June 9th, which is tomorrow. There'll be a reduction in available quests, with the studio removing daily quests and merging the weekly quests in Astara, Graalleaf, and Ragnarok into one weekly quest. Boss quests are also being removed altogether, and bosses are getting a small buff. Astellia currently averages about 460 players or so online in given time on Steam, which is down pretty much every month since the game launched back in February. Keep in mind though, this one is buy to play. I still think this one will go free to play in the near future, but we'll have to wait and see. Up next, a small update for Revelation Online. Yes, the Chinese MMORPG Revelation is still up and running. They introduced a new feature that allows players to exchange their scrap items for new ones from the latest patch. I'm surprised this one is actually still going. The game's player base on Steam is pretty much dead, with an average of 60 or so players online at any given time, but it likely has a decent player base off Steam as well, as it originally launched off of Steam. It's published by the MMOs.com folks, and it still gets updated though. The player base has definitely been in decline. Next up, Past Fate, a relatively obscure medieval MMO from a Finnish game studio, is hosting its open alpha test number 2 starting today on June 8th and will be running until June 15th. 3 classes are available in the game's open alpha, including the Warrior, Necromancer, and Priest, with content up to level 10 available. The game promises a huge world that players can explore where you can build your own ship and sail around and even build your own bases. Based on the game's Steam page and website, they're kind of going for this base building element with more open world MMORPG elements built in. It'll be buy to play at launch, and it looks at least a bit different than a lot of the other MMORPGs we've seen out there. Maybe a mix of New World and something else. Next and last bit of news this week comes from Dauntless, which is launching its Call of the Void update on June 11th. So in just 3 days, and it goes live on the same day for all platforms on the same day with full cross-play support. The update introduces a new escalation. The update also features the game's first ever evolving narrative over the course of the update, which will be culminating in the next big update in July. The update also adds a new training grounds area, a place where players can test out all of the game's weapons in a safe zone to see which weapons they like playing with. Anyway guys, that is it for MMO News this week. I'll see you guys next week. Later guys.